Hey everyone. From time to time, I do these video newsletter recaps. I usually just send links to previous newsletters, but I thought it'd be more fun to just go down the list and just talk about some of the newsletters you might have missed. Here in recent videos, I talked about keyboard shortcuts. If you missed that, please go back and look for it in your inbox. I, I've heard back from some of you, and I know some of you found them really helpful. Others said, I picked up one or two, but maybe I really won't use it. Anyway, if it helps one person, I've done my job. If you want me to resend any of these, just reply me and say, Michael, send me the one about the video, whatever you did about keyboard shortcuts. Anyway, moving on. Before that, I talked about identity theft and why I think there's this false impression that if you put something on your computer, it'll somehow protect your identity. The takeaway from that video was it doesn't work that way. If you're really worried about your identity theft, get a identity theft protection program. I just heard a LifeLock video the other day that said no company is going to be able to protect your identity all the time. They do the best they can. That's why they have insurance. I think LifeLock said they'll insure you for like up to $1 million of loss. But it's just a testament to just how what a game of cat and mouse it is with these when these things happen. I talked about bad advice, just getting a bad advice from friends and family. Of course, you don't know you're getting bad advice from friends and family, but I think the takeaway from that video was get a second opinion. You know, whether it's for your car or your computer, talk to a certified mechanic or maybe a expert computer geek like yours truly. Run it by me first before you take bad advice from somebody. Shopping online, I think the takeaway from that was just it's pretty safe. I met somebody the other day that just went around retailer after retailer looking for some little gadget in a local store, and she finally found one, and it was like $30. And I had to explain to this person, I said, you know, you can get a 3-pack of those for like $7 on Amazon. And she confessed that she just doesn't do online shopping. And I said, you should start. $30 is a little steep for one gadget if you can get 3 for 7. A while back, I did a video about Windows 11, and I think this is still relevant. The answer is no. I'm still getting calls about folks who've done the upgrade from Windows 10 to 11, and they regret it. So if your new computer comes with it, you really don't have a choice, and I think you'll be okay. But doing the upgrade, don't do it. What's the best backup software? I talked about this months ago, and the answer is the backup that came with your computer. Whether you're on a Mac or a PC, the Apple Time Machine is great, and the Windows file history, as it's called, is awesome. You plug in a drive, you turn it on, set it, and forget it. Let's see, going backwards, I'm going backwards in time. I talked about robocalls in the past, and that video actually got a lot of response. I know that's a big hot button topic for folks. The answer is you need to talk to your cellular phone company. Hopefully, you know, if you have a landline, God help you. I want to apologize. I think in my last video I said something that I normally wouldn't say. This job is not without its frustrations, like any other job. I love my job. I love helping people. So if I ever vent those frustrations in front of the camera, I apologize. But robocalls, yeah. Talk to your cell phone provider and just ask them what they can do. I know with my carrier, they have a great app for blocking calls. I can just block the calls, or I can just turn on a switch that says, if this is a known scammer, send it straight to voicemail. And you can just delete it. But in worst case scenario, you can actually just block it and they won't even get your voicemail. Antivirus, I've talked about this many times. You don't need it. I haven't seen a virus in 9 years, and I know from talking to all of you, you probably haven't seen one either. I ask my customers all the time, when was the last time your antivirus detected a virus? Most of them go like this. I say, you answered my question. And the answer is never. In rare cases, they'll say, well, maybe 10 years ago. Anyway, don't worry about viruses. Scams are your biggest threat. Antivirus will not stop you or anyone else from falling for a scam. We've been over that. Windows 101. I guess I did a video about Windows 101. I think I just talked about, you know, here's the start menu, here's the terminology, here's the basics of a Windows computer that I thought people should know. And I remember getting some decent response. And I can kind of see, you know, who opened it, who watched it. I don't get a lot of information from these newsletters, but I can see which ones are more successful than others. Mail clients. I've talked about mail clients like Microsoft Outlook. Now that's Outlook the program, not Outlook the website. We're not talking about Outlook.com. We're talking about the clunky old leftover relic from, I think Outlook came out in 1997. Anyway, the takeaway is stop using mail clients like Windows Live Mail. If you're checking your email and it looks like a little envelope, stop. I'm trying to do you a favor there. Buying a new laptop. I think the takeaway from that video was don't worry about it. This is not the early 2000s anymore. You don't have to worry about megabytes and megahertz and giga this and all. The jargon I know goes over people's head and it is intimidating. The takeaway from that video was, look, if you're looking for a laptop, the biggest deal breaker for most people is the size of the screen. If you don't want a small screen, you're going to have to get a 17-inch laptop. And it's a little pricier than the 15-inch and the 14-inch screens. But you get what you pay for. But for the most part, just don't worry. Now, if there's something specific that you want to do, like play video games or do video editing, or something that's a little more processor intensive, call me and I'll help you sort it out. But for the average person, just pretty much get the cheapest thing you can get your hands on within reason. If you want to send me a link to a model that you're looking at, I'll go over that with you. But yeah, buying a laptop can be intimidating and it doesn't have to be. I'm just looking at my list on my screen here. Let's see, I've talked about the Amazon Fire TV. This has been a while, but not necessarily just the Amazon Fire Stick or Fire TV, but the Roku, God forbid, Apple TV, if you just have to have that. But I think the point of that video was if you can get away from cable and stop paying $160, $200 a month for basically a bunch of crap that's filled with commercials, I highly encourage you to cut the cord, as it were, get away from cable, switch over to either a smart TV, or if you have an old dumb TV like I do, mine's actually about 10 years old, but I just plug in a Fire Stick to it, and super simple. I guess it's worth mentioning, you know, the Computer Geek doesn't always have the latest and greatest of everything, I promise. I've got a dumb TV from 10 years ago, I've got a Fire Stick, and I have a Nintendo Wii. Yeah, the old Nintendo Wii plugged into that thing. And then I have an extra HDMI cable that I leave hanging out. So if I ever want to plug in my laptop here, I can just plug that in and watch videos from my laptop right on the big screen. That's super handy. So that's my setup. Very basic, no DVD player, certainly no cable box. Haven't had one of those in probably 15 years at least. And I don't miss it. So I hope that's helpful. Oh, and then I did a newsletter recap. When was this? Oh, December of like 2 years ago. And then I talked about the reasons why you might need a new computer. And I think that's important to go over again. If your computer's starting to slow down, it might be time. If you can't remember when you bought your computer, there's red flag number one. It's probably time. The other giveaway would be if you put your ear up to your computer and you hear kind of a clicking brrr kind of sound. I'm not talking about the fan. A fan is just going to be a constant whir. But your old-fashioned hard disk drives, I cannot stress this enough, they are probably close to the end of their life. Please don't wait until the last minute. It will fail and you could lose everything, or you could be put in a really tough position of, do I want to take this to a data recovery specialist and spend upwards of $1,000 to get that data back because I dragged my heels too long? I hope you don't. Just get a backup, and if your hard drive makes a clicking sound, let's replace it, or maybe, just maybe, it's time for a new computer. Anyway, I look forward to doing a giveaway soon. I haven't done one of those in a while. That's always a lot of fun. I love drawing names out of a hat and just giving away money in hopes that you'll, I don't know, spend it on something fun, or maybe tell your friends or family about these newsletters. I hope you'll always forward these videos if you find them helpful. I thank you in advance for your replies. I can always tell when a video's a swing and a miss because it's like crickets chirping. And other videos, I get a lot of really nice replies, and they say, Michael, this is really helpful. You've probably done some of that before, and I appreciate that. If you have any ideas for future newsletters, you know what to do. If you have any questions, shoot me an email. And yeah, look out for the giveaway in maybe the next video. I think I'll do just like a $50 Amazon gift card. Won't that be fun? So stay tuned for the next one, and we'll see you next time.